Good evening, Crypto with Dinny, and it's Dinny here. This is the place of the Bitcoin pension plan. This is where we teach you how to create a retirement plan around Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So it's not get rich quick, but it's stacked for your future. I want to talk to you a little bit about inflation because I've seen it in numerous places in Irish media, in mainstream sources. So mainstream media are starting to speak about inflation, and on Main Street, people are feeling inflation. So I thought, as usual, you've heard me describe it a couple of times, and I'm going to give a different analogy, and we'll just chat about that for a minute or two. Now, it's a good day for Bitcoin. Price is pumping, crypto market is on the way up. Everyone's feeling good. But regardless of whether your crypto portfolio is doing well or not today, your euros aren't. Your euros are suffering from their highest inflation rate in 40 years. And I'd just like to explain that and chat a little bit about that. Guys, if that sounds good, do me a favour, hit the like button. If you want to become part of the community, hit the subscribe button. Join the channel. Become part of a crew. A positive, fun, amazing crew. That's my biased opinion. Beware of scammers in the comments. Please ignore them. If ever you get a message from me asking you to invest your money, I promise you it's not me. I never invest people's money. I only teach people how to manage their money and how to understand Bitcoin and crypto. So please ignore them. Nothing on Crypto with Dinny is financial advice. I advise financial advisors all the time, but I personally am the financial advisor. So please don't take anything here as financial advice. It's just a bit of crack. Anyway, I've got now a glass of my waddy here, and I'm going to use this to explain to you monetary inflation. Now, one thing I just want to touch on, because I haven't really mentioned it before on the Crypto with Dinny channel, but it's something that I've always been an advocate of. With inflation and money pressures comes worries and stress and anxiety. And on my social media and just in my small bubble, the amount of tragedies that I've heard of today, this week, over the last month, with people suffering with mental health. I'd encourage you, if you are, and of course inflation worries and all this sort of stuff is going to put pressure on people, more pressure, and we've had a really difficult time over the last 2 years. I've spoke openly that, 10 years ago I struggled with my mental health. I did struggle with it, and it's okay, it goes away. That's the one thing that I always like to tell people, that you're not stuck like that forever, and the best thing that you can do is get a bit of help. Ask for help. Don't suffer alone. We all go through some sort of mental health issues, I think, at some stage in our life. It's nothing to be ashamed of. I know it's very taboo and people don't even like talking about it, but hopefully on Crypto with Dinny you'll know it's nothing to be ashamed of, and if you're suffering, please don't suffer in silence. Hit me a message. I'm always available to talk, and I know these inflation worries are pushing people over the edge. So we got to look out for each other. We got to keep it positive, and if anyone needs help, come and get it. We're here to support you. So, currency dilution is what I'm going to chat about today. So this is my waddy, okay? And I've put in my waddy, and I'm very posh. I've got the posh water. Alright, and it's nice, look. There's a nice mix there, okay? It's flavoured well. It's a good dilution. Alright, it's not too diluted that it doesn't have any energy or it doesn't have any flavour, okay? But if we whack on the money printer, alright, and I equivalent the money printer to, if I go and put a load of water in this, because the water doesn't have the energy, my waddy has the flavour, that's where the flavour is, okay? But if I dilute my little drink here and I flood the system, so this is what happened in 2020 when the system got flooded with dollars and euros, because we closed the world, we shut the economy down. We made people stay in their houses for a year, and of course it's going to have mental health consequences, and of course it's going to have inflationary consequences. Okay, so if I flood my waddy here, alright, with just easily printed money, and I dilute it, what you're going to see is the colour of it. I should have gave you a good look at it before I diluted it, but you can see how much clearer it's got now. And if I taste it, okay, hit the like button if you're learning. In fact, if you haven't done any exercise today, hit the like button. That could be the first bit of exercise you do. Alright? It's a bit watery, lads. It's not as nice as it was. It's lost its potency, it's lost its energy, it's lost its power, it's lost its flavour. I've flooded the system. Okay? And it's not as good anymore. So now what it will take, and this is what happens when you flood the system with money, it takes more units of currency to buy the same things, because the flavour's just not there anymore, because it's being diluted. Alright, so now what I have to do is I have to use more money. This is the money, this is the real money, okay? And I got to put in more of this to counteract the dilution, alright? And that's what we're seeing. That's why all the goods and services that you want to buy, you have to put in more euros to afford them now. You think it's just that your gas went up, or just that your electricity went up, or just that your house, if you want to buy a house, that went up, or your groceries went up, or your petrol went up. But like, everything has gone up. It just means you're giving more euros for the things because the euros have gone down. And that's what's happened. The euros have been diluted. We flooded the system with euros. We flooded the system with dollars. And therefore we have to add more euros to buy the same goods and services. Just like I had to add in more my wadi to counteract the dilution of flooding the system with more water. When I had it just right and it was working, it was lovely. And I went and put a load of water in. And then I was like, yeah, it doesn't work anymore. I got to put more water in. I got to put more my wadi in to counteract flooding the system, okay? So I've got to give more euros to buy the same goods and services. Does that make sense? Let me have a look at this. It's like, oh, just right. But I had to use more of my wadi, okay? Just like you have to use, we all have to use more of our euros now just to live our life. And that's a problem because inflation is like a silent tax. It's a tax on all your savings and it never goes away. Like if you suffer from 10% inflation for 1 year, that has taken 10% of your wealth and you never get it back. Inflation never returns. So it's a big problem. And it's a problem for everyday people. You see, wealthy people understand this fact and they use it to their advantage. And the reason they do that is they don't save in currency like a euro or a dollar or a pound sterling. Wealthy people save in assets. So they buy property, or they buy, stock market, or they buy art or classic cars or any sort of a fixed asset, because they understand if they exchange their time for money and they get paid their euros and they stack them in the bank and inflation is taken away 10% every year, that's 10 grand out of every 100 grand. Like a total, even if you're a wealthy person, it takes a lot of euros to earn 10,000 euros. So if inflation's going to take away 10,000 of your euros every year if you're earning 100 grand, or 5 grand if you're earning 50 grand, that's a big problem. You're losing a month or two of your labour, your time and energy. Now we don't know what the actual inflation level is because inflation to me is subjective. Everyone's inflation level is slightly different depending on what you want to purchase. If you're trying to get on the property ladder right now, like you're suffering from 30%, between 20 and 30% inflation per year. That is almost impossible for you to get ahead. So it's a big problem and I can understand why people are worried about it, and it's something that I've been speaking a lot about and helping people understand. So what do we do? Like, one of my favourite ways to protect myself and my family, done with my parents with their pension plan, because I was like, their whole pension's just going to be wiped out in a decade. They'll have nothing to live on. Alright? But we use Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin is a hedge against inflation. Because you can't flood the system with Bitcoin. There's only 21 million and there can never be any more. So nobody can print Bitcoins out of fresh air and dilute any of the Bitcoin that the Bitcoin holders hold. That gives it this store of value characteristic. Okay? And as I teach people, hit the like button, guys, if you're liking this, okay? Hit the comment, share the stream. If you're liking the message, share the stream. Irish people need to understand this. I've been on mainstream, trying to get some mainstreamers to talk to me, and I can't get a platform. So if you have any connections with anyone in mainstream who wants to talk just to a Bitcoiner about how Bitcoin can help protect Irish people, put me in contact with them or put them in contact with me, and let's make it happen. But things get cheaper when you price them in Bitcoin. And that's amazing because we know that things get more expensive when we price them in euros. Things get more expensive when we price them in euros. Okay? And that's just the way it has always been and will always be. Fiat currencies go down in value over time. Bitcoin goes up in value over time. So things get cheaper when priced in Bitcoin. Amazing. And I'll give you an example. I was at Cars and Coffee yesterday. You might have seen it on my Instagram story. Follow us on Instagram if you're not already, have to crack. But I was looking at a couple of Lamborghinis. In 2011, a Lamborghini cost 225,400 Bitcoin. That's how many Bitcoins you had to give to buy a Lamborghini in 2011. 225,400. Okay? In 2015, you only had to pay 605 Bitcoin to get a Lamborghini. Alright? Things getting cheaper priced in Bitcoin. In 2020, you only have to pay 15 Bitcoin for a Lamborghini. This is money that's going up in value over time. In 2021, It was down to 6 Bitcoins get you a Lamborghini. This is why I personally save some of my wealth in Bitcoin. Because I'm saving in an asset that's going up in value over time, instead of just saving my euros in the bank, which are going down in value over time. And that's punishing me as a saver, because we're always taught, work and save. But we're not taught, if you work and save euros, you're literally losing your value every day. You must work and invest, is what we weren't taught. Save, but save in assets. Don't save in a currency, because the currency is guaranteed to lose. So a Lamborghini now costs 6 Bitcoin. That's pretty cool. Like, I'd like to buy a Lamborghini someday. I'm not going to buy them for 6 Bitcoin because I don't have 6 Bitcoin yet. But I'm saving in Bitcoin. Maybe someday I'll buy a Lamborghini for 0.1 of a Bitcoin. Who knows? Maybe in a decade I will. I think I might be able to buy one for 0.1 of a Bitcoin in a decade. That's why I save in Bitcoin. That's why I accumulate it every month with my wages. I take a little portion of my investable capital, that some of it I save in the bank and some of it I save it in Bitcoin. Guys, if you want to learn how Bitcoin works, a bit more information, how we build Bitcoin pension plans, check out my free Bitcoin Basics workshop. Jump on the website, www.cryptowithdinny.com. I'd be delighted to teach you the basics of Bitcoin. It's a free workshop, and you can probably tell I'm pretty passionate about this stuff, and we need this. We need this protection. Irish people need this help. Inflation is a problem, and it's tiny little exposure to Bitcoin, as what I set up for my parents, is your hedge against inflation. It's the best hedge that I know and I'm aware of. Guys, have a super evening. I'm about to do my tin whistle lessons now, and I haven't practiced my song, so I'm probably going to be in trouble with my teacher. But I'll tell him I had to go down and teach the lads a little bit about inflation and currency dilution and monetary expansion, okay? Because as the amount of money in the system expands, it means that each individual unit of currency doesn't have the same purchasing power. So we all have to give more of our units, more of our euros to buy the same fixed goods and services. Guys, hit share button if you like it. Have an awesome day. Dinny out.